Yo guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. It is episode number 5 in season 1 of my team career mode. Is the Canadian Grand Prix in season 1. I've already said that, but I don't care. And just quickly before we start this video, sorry I haven't been uploading since the camera settings video, which has actually done pretty well. I thought it wouldn't do well, but it has, surprisingly. I think it's on like 60 views as I record this now, and also about 30 odd% of you guys are not subscribed, so make sure you get subscribed down below for more F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Also go and follow at spark.666 on Instagram. He's my new partner, as you may have seen on my Instagram already, but go check him out. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description down below. But let's get on into the actual video now. Ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. We're going to look at the upgrades. We've got 1 aero, 2 chassis, 1 powertrain and 2 durability upgrades on the way. I think we only had 1 upgrade. Yeah, we only had 1 upgrade on the way in durability. As we signed this actually no, I think that was the Monaco Grand Prix anyway. But we're going to purchase a driver perk, and we're going to purchase the development feedback, because I've completely forgotten about you get the perks in the game, as Guanyu is now 67 rated. As now we look at the standings, as Lewis Hamilton only came 12th in Baku, but he got the fastest lap, and we got our first points of the season in P9, as Mazepin got P8 and drive for today. We had quite a few DNFs. I think we only had 2 DNFs, but it was an action-packed race, so go check that video out if you haven't done it already. I'll leave a link to that in the top right hand corner of your screen. As constructors wise, Norris is only 6 points behind Hamilton going into Canada, and constructors wise, Mercedes are leading the way as always on 122 points, with Red Bull behind them on 89 points. We're now going to advance time to the Canadian Grand Prix and see if the improved energy store cells and the roll dampers come through.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through.
I mean, the roll dampers
but
do,
some of them have failed quality control.
The energy store cells,
we'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D
failed. So now we're going to go repurchase the energy store cells. Only improved energy store cells, whatever. I don't care. We're going to repurchase that for 244 R&D points. And now we're going to move into practice for the Canadian Grand Prix. So here we are then. We're moving to practice 2 because practice 1 was wet. So we're loading the setup as always. So we're running 6/8 wings, 82/56, -280, -1, 0.07 and 0.2 on the suspension geometry. Suspension 122.827, brakes 156, and tyre pressures are 21.8 and on the fronts and 23.1 on the rears. Now moving to the action in practice, and we broke our front wing, which wasn't good, and then an AlphaTauri came up the inside of me, and that was basically it for qualifying. I then went into quick practice for FP3, and we got all of them done, so we got full 600 R&D points. As now we move into the resource points, so we got 660 and Granger got 200, so we're now up to about 1,800 R&D points. And we've got the glitch. Like I'm recording this after, I've recorded this before I went away, and I've come to post commentate the rest after. And there has been an update patch in between. And they still haven't fixed this glitch where they got the dark bit in the middle. Although, I could tell you for France, because I've already started to record, I've already recorded practice for that bit. It's white, which I don't get. So, yeah. Anyway, team acclaim, not much change there. And now let's head on into, we head into qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. And yeah, we weren't quite as quick in practice as I was expecting to be, but we're going to see if we could do this here in qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix, as we're now going to go for a full lap. This was my best lap of the weekend, so I'll hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you at the end of the lap. So now as we come up to the line, we're going to set a 1 minute 9.3, go P4 at the time, ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, just behind Gasly and Ocon and Hamilton, who was following us that whole lap. And then we go to the end of the session for my second lap, and we're going to come through the final chicane now. We took a bit too much curb on the inside there, but you want to do that, as I was struggling there all practicing before, because what I do is before I jump into the actual weekend, I do time trial to get a good setup, and we got the power bit too early there, as we got the replay on board, and we're going to move to an off-board replay now, as we get a little bit, we were already getting a little bit loose there. Got a bit of air time there as well, which is pretty cool. And that's going to be it for qualifying. Thermal damage, going to have to retire from the session as we walk into the garage in shame. And we're also running a new helmet design this weekend as well. But that's qualifying over for us, which is not a great start to the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. And I was so annoyed with myself, I didn't actually see where I qualified. But we qualified, I think, P16 or something. Now in the rivalry, we did out-qualify Giovinazzi, surprisingly. So we're on, I think it's like 19 to 14. I can't see that. But I'll get confirmation of that before the race. Claim-wise, again, not much improvement. As you see there, it's 15 to 14 now, but let's move into the Canadian Grand Prix.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle. and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Jackson, Antonio Giovinazzi and Guan Yu Zhou, Mazepin, Russell, Latifi and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So, there we go then. Jeff has told us what we need to do. We need to try to get another points finish. We're starting P16 here in Canada. We've got a Haas of Mick Schumacher standing alongside us in P15. Strategy. I played around with this for a bit, but we decided to go with, I think it was a soft, medium, soft, but that was 2 seconds slower, so I actually don't know, because it took me so long to actually figure out what strat to do. I think I just decided to do the soft, medium, soft, or the soft, medium, or the medium, medium, soft. Maybe. We get this gap here, but that means that the tyres might explode then. So, yeah, I tried doing the medium soft strategy, but it's not going to work. So, I reset it, and I'm just spending so long. I should have really cut this out, really. So, anyway, it's going to go soft, medium, medium. This one I was trying to go medium, medium, soft. It said it was 5 seconds quicker. So we're going to go with that one. We're going to go medium, medium, soft. We will be on the slower tyre at the start, but we will be on the quicker tyre at the end. So we're going to lower the fuel to 35.6 laps of fuel. And now we're going to get into the action. So you join me at the end of the formation lap. And I got some good heat into the medium tyres. We've got Mick Schumacher ahead of us, who is also starting on medium tyres. And we just went in our own group. As I'm going to line up on the grid now in our grid slot, P16 as always. As now we're going to go to 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go. And we get a good start initially, and we're going to try and go to the inside here for turn 1. We get across Mick Schumacher, then we're going to send it down the inside. We are side by side. We go 3 wide with the 2 Alpines as we had to back out of that. As now Guan Yu Zhou, that's Kimi Raikkonen, is going to get a run on us down in turn 4. As now go down to turn 5 as we get a little bit loose there. As now we're going to go round the fast corner, and Guan Yu Zhou's going to have a look at us around the outside. We're going to send it down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen. Instead, we're going to get the inside there, get again a little bit loose on the rear end there, coming out of the turn, I can't remember, I think it's like turn 8 or something. As now we go under the bridge into the chicane before the hairpin. Took a bit too much curve there, unsettled the car a bit. Now we're going to go down into the hairpin. I'm going to try and send it right down the inside of both Alpines and get the move done. As now there's yellow flags. We get one in the collision with Tsunoda. As there's real fake yellow flags because it's continuing up. I'm also changing the, I forgot to say, I'm also changing the on-screen display and also the I've also added subtitles at the bottom because it makes it a lot better for me. As now we're done, but now Hamilton still leads the way at the end of lap 1, and onto lap 2, we're going to turn 4, as we are looking for a move on Yuki Tsunoda. We are a long way back. We're going to try we're going to go 4th gear this time, and we've spun. We got a bit too much on the curb there, as this Canadian Grand Prix weekend has gone from bad to worse. Has now been last place with overheating rears, and we're only on lap 2 of 35 of this Canadian Grand Prix, and it's not looking too good for us here to get a little bit loose there again. Just struggling to get any traction down. As now we go into the hairpin, and yeah, as Hamilton says a new fastest lap, and I'm going to get a look at the race restart. So we go to 5 with lights, and it's lights out and away we go again. As we didn't really get a good start. We cut across Mick there a bit, as a lot of cars actually cut turn 1 there, including me, but we didn't get any warnings for that. And everybody's going side by side at least through there. As everybody has kept it clean so far on through the first few corners, as there's our send down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen there. As an actually Guan Yu Zhou actually gets past us there. As now we move to the end of that one. And now we're going to look, and now there's our send on both the Alpines there. We didn't actually make any contact with Yuki Tsunoda from the replay cameras, so I don't know what the FIA are on about, but I think it should remove that warning. Now we go through the final few corners now of lap 1, and as the world champions, luckily everybody survived there first time round. As now we go through turn 1 and 2, and we had a look on Yuki Tsunoda there, but we didn't quite have the momentum on our medium tyres. Remember I think it's only me and Mick Schumacher who started on the mediums, and probably both Hasses. And then there's our speed, which sent us right down the order. As now we move on to the leaders, so it's Lewis Hamilton leading the way then, after only 2 laps, but it's still a lot to change, followed by Max Verstappen in P2, who got a good start over Valtteri Bottas in P3, and it's Sergio Perez in P4, with Leclerc behind in P5. He also got a lightning start to the race, followed by Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly, who is splitting the two McLarens, and then it's Vettel in 9th and Carlos Sainz in 10th at the moment. And then just outside top 10 at the moment, we've got Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, who we dive bombed in the 2 Alpines there into the hairpin. There's our teammate Guan Yu Zhou in P14 with Kimi Raikkonen in P15, who got squeezed out on that one due to myself and then getting overtaken by Guan Yu Zhou. Then it's Mick Schumacher in between the 2 Alfa Romeos, as now and it's George Russell in P19 with Mazepin in P20, Latifi in P21, and then myself in P22, and last 4.1 seconds off Nicholas Latifi there, which was a bit of a shame, but it's alright. So now we move back into our POV onto our onboard on lap number 7, and we've caught up to the train, thankfully, taken us a bit longer than I expected, but we caught to the pack. And we get DRS here on Nicholas Latifi, as we're going to have a look. We're not going to go through the final chicane, but we're going to have a look on the exit, maybe going into turn 1, as we're going to open up DRS to point some ERS, and now we're going to send it down the inside of turn 1 on Nicholas Latifi. That's a bit close, as George Russell and Nikita Mazepin are going side by side just ahead of us. So both Williams there are getting overtaken at the same time by 2 different cars, as now we go through the right-left chicane. As that MFD pop up there, that just means that the tyres are every 10%, that automatically comes up. It's just something new with the game. As now we get a bit close there, as we get spun round. So we have a quick look slow-mo of that, and we actually made contact there. I don't know if you just saw that little bit of puff of smoke there. That's us making contact with George Russell, so that might just be a racing incident, but yet again we're back in last place. But see, this is not a good race so far. We're only on lap 8, we're only 8 laps in, as now move on to lap number 9, and we're going into turn 4. The rear's locked and we've spun again. We're becoming a Nikita Mazepin at this rate with the spins, as we're still in last, and Lewis Hamilton is leading the race, has just gone into the pits.
The gap to the car ahead.
And we're just at the end of sector 1. Now we're on to end of lap number 9. We're going to box this lap. I've had enough of these medium tyres. They're just too worn out with the 3 spins that we've had to deal with. And so we're going to come into the pits now. End of lap 9. We get it all slowed down in time, and hopefully we should get a new set of medium tyres on. Basically first, I think it's one of Mercedes, either Valtteri Bottas or Lewis Hamilton.
Go now.
They're literally just going into the DRS zone there, which isn't good. We got a 2.4 second stop there, and now cut out of the pits. We're on hard tyres. I don't know why the team put me on hard tyres, and not so late on lap number 13. I get a strategy change, and I get 2
confirmed.
distracted by that, so that we run wide, and then on the following lap 14, by pick up a little bit of understeer there, we've hit our front wing and we've got a puncture
The front
on the
right
right
tyre
front.
is shredded. You've lost the front right.
So that's just confirmed there that we have a front right puncture now, and we're about to get lapped already on lap 14. And
Blue flag, blue flag.
so, yeah, and I'm going to get lapped by Bottas, so it's Hamilton who led the way, Bottas P2, Verstappen P3, and now this day, well not this day, but this race has just gone from worse to, don't know. So now we lock up and we go wide at the hairpin. This day is not
Blue
getting
flag
any better
conditions.
for us,
Create a
isn't
gap
it?
and let the car behind through.
We get more blue flags. It's Perez at P4, Ricardo at P5. After first round of pit stops, as now we have to come into the pits again for a front wing and a change of that punctured front right. So it's going to be a longer pit stop than it was last time. So we're going to just sitting in the pit box, and
Go,
it's
go,
going to
go.
be a 9.9 second stop, which now we've been lapped by the whole field.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop
No, our
left in our
mediums.
strategy.
We're going to try and go to the end, but it's probably not going to work, as I actually found quite a lot of pace on these medium tyres. Canada is just a race to kind of forget in this season, but we will move on from Canada once this race is finished, as you just see how much we catch up to Nikita Mazepin. We were late, I don't know, I want to say about 30 seconds behind him, but he's a lap ahead of us. We're a lap down, and we've already caught up to him. We're going to try and lap ourselves, but it's not really going to work out. But we're going to try it anyway, so we'll do a lap down challenge. This has come to now, as we set a purple sector 3 as we get a bit close to the Tifi there, and we unlocked ourselves from Mazepin, and we're going to step aside with Nicholas Latifi. We're going to get switched back on him, and we got the move done. But then disaster strikes. No, I don't know. We get blue flagged again to let Latifi Mazepin back through. So I was like, nope. And so I've been told to let Mazepin through, but I'm not going to, because I want to try and unlap the field, because I have the pace to stay ahead of Latifi and Mazepin as we move into the offboard, into a offboard shot now, and we're going to come down the back straight on lap 16, and we're not going to get DRS because that's stupid, and we're going to go through the final chicane, and we spun again and we crashed like what we did in qualifying. I obviously have not learnt my lesson from qualifying about spinning there, as we're going to get replay of that, and I think, yep, we did pretty much the exact same thing as what we did in qualifying, and we have to retire from the session, as it's not been the greatest Canadian Grand Prix weekend, I have to say, but we just have to put this one behind us and keep our heads up for France next time out. So
that's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Lance Stroll certainly put in an impressive performance today. No doubt his team and fans are extremely proud.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So there we have it, guys, the Canadian Grand Prix all wrapped up, and Hamilton picked up the win, but I'm gutted that we crashed in the exact same place. So we also didn't learn a lesson from Quali, but Hamilton picked up the win, pole position and fastest lap, with Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas rounding off the podium. Followed by Ricciardo, Perez, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Tsunoda and Vettel just missing out on picking up the final point. Just missing out on points is Alonso, Ocon, Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Mazepin and Latifi, with Norris and myself not making it to the flag. Championship wise, Verstappen moves himself up to second, with Lando Norris bumping down to fourth with his DNF in that race, and Verstappen's only 17 points behind Hamilton now. There's not really much anything apart from Sainz gets past Fernando Alonso. And yeah, so constructors wise, we stay P9. Mercedes are now 46 points clear of Red Bull, and I think Haas are 2 points ahead of us, but that's going to be it then. Now we move into the rivalry breakdown, and we get a full 0 points. Giovinazzi gets 4 extra points on us, so he's now leading the rival 19 to 14. Acclaim wise, again, not much change. We stick the same levels and everything, and that is going to be it for the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. As we look at the sponsor, at the cash bonuses, we get our full payouts from Distort, and of course full damage reduction on my end, but only so we get 45k in bonus cash. So we're now on 800k. That's moved back back in the HQ
low.
now.
We
And
may
both
need
our
to shut down
durability
facilities for a while to cut down our running costs.
things failed, so we're going to have to repurchase them, and we are also going to look at the activities now. So for activities, we're going to do the durability equipment upgrade, and also attend F1 esports event, and also do the sponsor event fundraiser, which should get us some more R&D points on Acclaim. Facilities, you can't really do much on facilities. You don't have enough money. R&D wise, we have about 2,000 R&D points to spend. We've got those confirmed spark plugs in for the French Grand Prix, as those 2 durability upgrades failed, so we have to repurchase them, and they will come before France. So that should be good, but we can't do any more durability upgrades because our department capacity has been reached, so we have to look somewhere else. I think we're going to do the look at power. We're going to look for discounts, but I don't think we don't have many. But we're going to buy the reshaped combustion chamber for 575 R&D points, and that will come just after the Austrian Grand Prix, ready for the British Grand Prix in a couple of episodes time. And onto the chassis, we're going to buy the heave dampers, which will come just before Austria. And we're going to again look at facilities what we could buy, but we can't buy anything because we've only got 850,000 in the bank. So that, if I could buy anything, but we couldn't. So now we're going to go to the. I actually can't remember what happened because I recorded these on different days. Just confirmation of the championship there, and the rivalry is 19 to 14. You can see it much better on the screen. I don't know why you can't see it on that one. But now, as you can see, we've had 2 DNFs now this season, and we're now going to advance the time because I thought because it was so short, but I've realised it's actually quite long now, so we're going to advance time. And the general wear upgrade comes in. We've got the improved energy store cells, which does come in.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come
department.
through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So we get a chassis department
Could you
event
take a look at
to
this
go
for
to.
us, please?
So good news. It's taken a few all-nighters, but that's basically it's saying that they reached the deadline and maybe throw a party, and if we agree, we lose 20,000, but we get 50% discount on the monocoque structure. But if we decline it, we get lose 10% on the chassis morale, but we still get 50% off. So we're going to select the agree option.
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
So with that chassis department event out the way with, we're going to continue advancing the time as the F1 esports event is done, as we get those confirmed durability parts, and we're here ready for the French Grand Prix. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also subscribe for weekly F1 content. But that has been me, Owen141. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.